again, Gerald Brown here for another episode of Heavy in the Paint. Make sure you subscribe to everything, Apple, Spotify, follow it. Catch me on Saturdays, 10 a.m., 1 p.m. on Eastern Time on SiriusXM NBA Radio, Channel 86, and of course on your SiriusXM app with myself and the big man, Mr. Rick Mahorn. Let's get right to it. This gentleman is an icon. The man, I seen him play in the back of Millbank, and I said, yo, he's my age. I can't do what he's doing out there. I seen him play at the Capitol Classic. I seen him come in Brandeis High School with carrying Kenny Smith bag and the Louis Vuitton looking like his. And he's getting out there with Arnie. You know what I'm saying? Arnie Jacobs and putting him through that Van der Ford. I seen the man do what he did. And I was surprised, and then it became something of a norm, what he did in high school, to college, to the pros. He is obviously a phenom, perhaps the last phenom to come out of New York City, the legendary, iconic one, and current head college basketball coach at Fisk University, Mr. Kenny Anderson. K.A., how you doing, man?
I'm doing great, man, and, I love coming on your show, so anytime I drop anything for you, and I got to get on. You followed me when I was a youngster in New York. You got me back, hooked in with my sister. You don't even know, man. So you blessed. You're a blessed person. So anytime you call me, I stop anything and say I'm coming on, whatever.
I appreciate that. And always, man, it's always about being a blessing, because you know what? Being blessed in so many ways, just doing something, and man, and I can't tell you, I talk to my mom all the time talking about, when she speaks with your sister and stuff like that. And I think y'all getting together. And I said, that's beautiful, because you know what? Family is everything, man. It definitely is everything. And I'm so happy that y'all reconnected and continue to stay connected.
Yeah, thank you so much.
I appreciate that. So, K.A., we had this all-star game, and it was something of, obviously, a lot of people up in arms. You've obviously former NBA player. What have been your thoughts on the All-Star game?
I played in one in '94, and back then, Lenny Wilkins was my coach. We played there. I remember a little bit of that. Me and Derek Coleman started, and we didn't get that much run, Lenny. You ain't play us a lot, so we was pissed off. So we said, when we play Cleveland again, we gonna give it to them. But no, back then the competition we played, and I believe, and I'll put the money on, I think we got about 20,000. We played hard for that 20,000. You know what I'm saying? So we was competitive. Man. And I just don't see the competitive, rush it was, in this All-Star game. It just looked like it was just a shooting frenzy, a dunking frenzy. Nobody was playing defense. It just was a walk in the park for those guys. But I think if you put add some money onto it, and let them compete, then that's what's going to happen, I believe.
That's sad, man. The Brooklyn Nets have a new head coach, firing and letting go former NBA player Jacques Vaughn, and now Kevin Ollie is the interim head coach. When you look at this Nets team, it's a tough situation. Obviously removed from KD and Kyrie. What are your thoughts on this situation, and how difficult can it be? You think it will be for KO to come in there middle season with this team still trying to find identity?
Oh, it's tough on him, and they got to rebuild, and that's what they're in the process of doing with a coach. Kevin Ollie's a great coach. I think he will do well, but the guys has got to, he got to get to the guys. You see if they listen, If they listen and run what he's trying to put across to them, I think they'll be fine. I'm a net, man, and I'm going to go down as a net regardless. I'm from New York, but I got drafted to the Nets, so I always give love to the New Jersey Nets, Brooklyn Nets. I'll be there March 29th when they play the Chicago Bulls. I'll be in the arena at the game, so I'm looking forward to that. But, when the two stars left, Kyrie and Kevin Durant, I knew we had to rebuild. It was going to be a rebuilding year. That's why if I'm an owner, I don't know if I would have pulled the trigger on Kevin Durant. Now I'll put my owner cap on. You know, I would have just told him to sit back and relax, man. Play through his contract is over. I don't know if I would have been as nice as they've been nice getting those guys out of there.
You know, K.A., I got to ask you this because, you know, I've been giving the Knicks fans a lot of grief.
Yeah.
And, you know,
Give him all the,
I got to give them grief because, you know, I was trying to figure this out. Help me to understand this. We both from New York City.
Yeah.
Okay. You know, we understand the Madison Square Garden, the world's most famous arena. And we witnessed this. And I'm looking at these Knicks fans and I'm saying Jalen Brunson has been phenomenal for the Knicks.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. How the fans do not vote him in as a starter and let Damian Lillard, no disrespect to Damian, the city of Portland, obviously the city of Milwaukee, but how you let Damian Lillard come in on the first time he become the starter for the Eastern Conference, and their fans didn't vote in Jalen Brunson.
Yeah,
I'm hot about it. I'm hot about it.
You a New Yorker, you gonna be hot. But Damian Lillard, you get the pass on it. Damian Lillard, he's a great player. So it is what it is. You know, they're both great players, but Lillard been doing it, you know, for many years. He won the he won the 3-point shooting contest, and he's a prolific scorer, prolific shooter. So that's a give and take, man. But I might go with Lillard also. He's a great player. But Jalen Brunson, he's doing awesome, and he's in the crib. He's in New York, playing extremely well, and he's bringing that mojo back to New York, and they needed that for many years.
Okay, you know, let's go back, man. And I've always been fascinated by, you know, your career and stuff like that. And, you know, I look at guys like, God rest his soul, Pearl Washington, and getting a chance. And Pearl was he was a lot older and stuff. But to see him go through and be that kind of phenom and stuff like that, and it happened for you early. How did you manage and handle being in that spotlight? Because, like I said, I saw you. I was like, man, he looked like a natural out there. Herc can't yell at you or say nothing. Herc just let you do what you need to do. And I said, wow. How did you handle that?
Yeah, my coach, that's what he named me, Jack Curran, the natural. You know, I started at 13 years old, man. I was blessed with the gift to play the game that I love, and that was basketball. And then I got with my mentor, Vincent Smith, who's Kenny Smith, you know, older brother. He mentored me, and I listened. Pierre Turner. I had some great mentors in my life that I listened to in New York, and I took the basketball to the classroom. You know, at Archbishop Malloy, one of the greatest high schools in the country academically, and you know, I saw it that way, you know, and coming from New York, coming from a broken home, I was able to really see the difference when I went to Malloy, you know, high school, and it gave me that different aura, you know, about schoolwork. And then I got into that, and I used to just play basketball. Hey, listen, I used to, from Monday through Saturday, I played ball. I stayed in my high school in the library, did my homework, studied. Then I had practice at 4, and then I would go home at like 9 o'clock, go to sleep, whatever, and back at it. This is what I did. It was a routine of mine, and I did it every day, and it paid off for me.
Yeah. Now, you know, because I mean, you know, our good friend David Kane.
Yeah.
You know, Kane used to always tell me the stories and stuff like you might play with the Gauchos for a little while and didn't have to do it. And like we're talking about an era of basketball now where kids are kind of funneled to these teams. But you know, I want to touch base on that because it's totally different than what it was. How did you be able to be in a situation where you didn't have to worry about the summer tournaments and stuff?
Yeah. My high school coach, Jack Curran, he used to just go off on me. Not go off, but he just sit down with me in his office and say, you don't got to play nowhere. You got control of everything. You can play here, and that's it. And with the high school basketball, be recruited, and I'm good. But then I played with Riverside Church. I played with Gauchos. I played with Aim High. I played whatever tournament I wanted to play in at that time. That's what I had. I had freedom to play whatever, because I was the top I was a top player. Wanted me to play for them, but I played in different tournaments that I chose to, that I wanted to, because what I did in high school basketball. At Archbishop Malloy High School. It was a dynasty back then when I went to school there.
Yeah, especially the fact is, I think hearing about 5-star. You go to 5-star, you walking in,
Hey,
you were the number one player.
Now I'll tell you a 5-star story. We didn't go to 5-star because Jack Curran didn't get along Garfinkel.
Wow.
So if you would go to 5-star, you had to get out of our school. You couldn't go to 5-star. They had beef, and to this day I don't know what it was, but you could not go to 5-star. I did not go to 5-star. Kenny Smith didn't go to 5-star. You could act, and he went to you couldn't go to 5-star if you went to Archbishop Malloy High School. That's real.
Was there ever a sense of pressure to live up to the expectations? Because I always said, and I've said this before, when you come on Sirius XM NBA radio, you were the LeBron James.
Yeah.
Before, and it's no disrespect to Sebastian, Lance Stevenson, none of those guys.
Yeah.
It was different for you because you were I say it's Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, then it's you. Out of New York City, when you talk about prodigies, and it's tracking your every single step, did it ever feel any pressure to live up to the expectation?
I never really felt, basketball been easy. Life has been hard. That's the slogan of my documentary. So I just love playing the game of basketball. I worked on my games ever since I was a youngster. Went through high school, college, pro. It just never really, got to that point where it was a problem for me. I had, and this is one thing that I try to tell all my young guys I'm coaching. I had a great mentor. I had a mentor. They really helped me out a great deal. Kept me out of trouble. Kept me doing my schoolwork, kept me playing basketball, doing what I love to do, and doing what I asked my mentor many, many, many years ago. I said, man, I want to take care of my mother. He said, you do this. You do what I tell you to do. You'll be in the pros and you'll make an X amount of money and you'll be able to take care of your mother. And I just listened and I just did it. I just saw it. I just wanted to take care of my mother. That was all that was the big thing in my head. So I had to do everything the proper way to take care of my mother.
And I think it was what age did you stop playing on concrete? Because they was like, yo, you don't play no more on concrete.
Yeah. You know that story. Because when I started getting more, after my freshman year, I was 15 years old, 16, my mother she got word. She don't know. She knew, but she said, you can't play on concrete because it'll mess your knees up. Be careful, baby. So she said, you ain't playing on concrete no more. Only on the gym. Forget it. Yeah.
Wow, man. That's what I heard that story. I was like, it was truly, truly amazing and stuff like that. Was basketball ever not fun for you?
Nah, man, it was a joy for me. Yeah. You know what? It was a joy for me in my high school, college. Well, pros, it was a business. And that's when it got no fun for me. I didn't understand that. Early in my career, and in my mentor, my agent, said it's a business. Now you got to understand money and business type deals and things of that nature. I just played for the joy of it. So, yeah, I believe late in my pro career, it got to be a business, and I didn't like it.
Yeah. How difficult, how close were you to going to North Carolina? Because Kenny Smith went to North Carolina. Archbishop Malloy, the colors are reminiscent, similar to North Carolina.
I really wasn't that close to going to Carolina. I wanted to go to Syracuse because of Pearl Washington.
Really?
I went on my visit. My mother didn't go with me for some reason, but she went to me on my Georgia Tech visit. So she just said, you're going to Georgia Tech. And I said, okay. And she said she didn't want to hear about it no more. My mother was real. She was a New York. She just said, you going to Georgia Tech. because she felt that Coach Crimmins, which he was and he did, father figure going to take care of me. And my mother knew something I didn't know. And when I went there, I was in the dormitory. I was like, then I went to practice. And we was playing together. Me, Dennis Scott, Brian Oliver, Malcolm X. And I said, man, Syracuse, we would have had in my head, we had Derek Coleman, Billy Owens. We had some. I said, it might be different. That's what I was thinking. But then when the season started, we started balling at Georgia Tech. We started playing extremely well. And I was like, man, I might have made the right decision.
Yeah. Just
Well, my
listen to
mother made the right. My mother made the right
exactly.
decision. Wasn't my decision.
Listening to moms would never go wrong at all.
Yeah.
Definitely, that was a good thing. And then who knows? North Carolina might have not been able to pay you as much as maybe Georgia Tech, but that's a different story. I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
they wasn't paying back then, so they probably wouldn't have.
But you go to Georgia Tech, and obviously we look at freshmen nowadays. Even these guys that come in that go straight to the NBA, they don't have the run that you had, K.A. And
No.
I look at maybe Carmelo Anthony and what he was able to do. That was unbelievable. But what you were able to do as a freshman, it was from the beginning. You made it look like it was so easy from high school to college. And that's Atlanta back in the day. That's Atlanta where everybody's on your back. It's like, yo, I can't believe that. I heard the story about when y'all came back for the Final Four. We'll get to the Final Four, the Sweet 16. All you could sign was K.A. K.A. got to get out of here. I got to get out of here. The stories are legendary. How was it that transition, and how did it not become a situation where it didn't overwhelm you?
It didn't overwhelm me because I was coming from New York City, and I think a lot has to do with my high school career was so luxurious, so big. So when I got to Georgia Tech, it was just high school, college, and then I went to Coach Crimmins, Coach Jack Curran. They were just great people, and they knew how to work with me, and they did a great job with me, and I had a great team. And all my teammates, Dennis Scott, Brian Oliver, Malcolm Mackey, Johnny McNeil, Brian DeMolick, Carl Brown. I go on and on. We had just it was like more family. It was family oriented, and we just played the game of basketball that we love. We played it the right way, and we got it done, man. We got it done. So it was just an exciting time. And in Atlanta at the time when I went down there, and Georgia Tech was booming. It was booming.
Do you ever look back, Kenny Anderson, legendary Kenny Anderson, joining me here on Heavy in the Paint? Do you ever look back and kind of realize and stuff like that how much of an impact you had on basketball culture? Because people started having a party in the middle, like I get that. But you had the T-shirt, you had the mouthpiece. It was, what I'm saying, and I mean, I even saw kids putting tape on their wrists and stuff like that, and I was like, yo. But did you ever look? Do you ever look back and say, wow, the impact you had on college basketball and the culture? I put it right up there with the Fab Five and stuff like that with the baggy shorts. But do you ever look back on your impact on the game?
Yeah, I really do now. That it's all over for me as far as college ball and pro ball, everything. Basketball is over for me. I'm coaching now, so I do look back on it. And it's now I've always been humble. I'm not a real braggadocious guy. I'm humble. I just thank God for all my blessings He gave me, my family, and me able to play the game that I love, basketball. And I get a little emotional because my sister Danielle, who you hooked me up with again, and she started me with the game of basketball. 6 years old, bringing me to ISA Park, babysitting me, and I got the love for the game. I cried, all the big guys was playing at the time. I cried for the ball, and they couldn't play because I wanted to shoot with the ball and all that. So I had to get off the court at ISA Park in South Jamaica. That's where it all started for me with my sister, Danielle. So she was a big big blessing for me, with the game that I love, and that's basketball. So it's just that now I just try to give back. Where I'm coaching here now at Fish University, NAIA Small School Week. This has truly been a blessed year for me. I had a great year for my team. We 13-13. We 10-6 in third place, third, fourth in our conference. So I'm really excited about these guys playing for me, and I hope that they're getting more than basketball from me, that they're getting life lessons, and that's what I try to give off to my team and to all these young men and women that I cross paths with. Try to talk to them about life.
Yeah. Now I want to switch up. I want to switch gears a little and get into the coaching and stuff.
Yeah,
And congratulations. Obviously, you guys have been playing well and
yeah,
making that adjustment as a coach. And you're talking about giving back and stuff. What have you learned about yourself in this process? Because again, you go from, I think you were coaching what, middle school, elementary school
yeah,
kind of
yeah.
situation, and then right into
AAU,
this
everything. Yeah,
AAU, and
yeah,
then you're at Fisk. And I asked Penny Hardaway the same question,
yeah.
because again, you guys are right in there. But what have you learned about yourself thus far being a head coach at Fisk University?
Oh, it's teaching me a lot about the basketball coaching. Coaching. I'm learning a lot about myself coaching than the administration part of it.
Mhm.
And you just can't be a head coach. A head coach on the court is about 2-3 hours. You got to do all the other stuff, that the administration, and that's what I'm learning a lot about. And it can be tough, but it's a process, and I love the process, and I keep working. I'm learning. I'm learning a lot. I know I play the game of basketball. That's nothing, but just the administration part of it, and a coaching, on court coaching, execution, putting them through plays and things of that nature. I was more just surreal, like just
Cerebral, yeah.
yeah,
Uh-huh.
cerebral, just boom. But now I gotta put plays together, plays down. I love it, but it's teaching me. You know what I'm saying? It's teaching me, so it's great, and I just this year has been great. It's been fulfilling to me, and I love my guys, and all I keep telling them, let's get better, let's get better. Not only in basketball, but in life.
Mhm.
And
How, how,
go ahead.
how do you how do you manage the expectations of those young men that have aspirations to getting to where you were at?
Yeah, I keep it 100 with them and keep them real with them. It's not too many that's gonna make it to the pros. It's 1% the pros, but then you overseas you can get a good job and things like that. But the pros can be tough. I would like to coach one to get over to the pros, but you never know how life is in the NAIA and small conferences. You just gotta play, and do the right things, with your life and things of that nature. So that's what I preach. That's what I've been preaching since I've been here, and I'm gonna continue to preach it. And I get guys to listen to me, and it's really great.
Yeah. Now, when you played, and obviously when you played in college and stuff like that, and we talk about these guys now, and sometimes guys, they just seem too comfortable, too cool,
Yeah,
and stuff like that, and don't have that competitive nature and stuff. When you played in college, was that competitive nature like? Was there certain guys that you would go after, and y'all were cool? Was
oh
it
yeah,
like a situation?
everybody. I played in the ACC, so it was tough. Chris Corchiani, Bob Hurley, John Crotty, Kig Rice. It was tough back then. It was, so you had to be ready. You had to be ready to compete, and that's what it all. Marion Cash played with Clemson. When I was at Georgia, so we had about 5-6 guards that you had to be prepared for. And that's what it was about back then. It was about just being ready and being competitive and not being all friendly and this and that and other. And I'm from New York, so it's a rat race there. So you got to just get in where you fit in, and or keep pushing, keep working, and that's what I did.
Yeah. Now I heard that there was a little story or something like that I heard through the grapevine that Kenny Anderson didn't like certain guys guarding him, and especially Bobby Hurley. And that's why when that situation at Georgia Tech, where Dougie V went crazy and stuff like that, that was
Yeah,
Kenny Anderson's way of saying,
yeah,
how dare you guard me? I'm going
yeah.
to punish you anytime you guard me. That's what I heard. I don't know how true it is, and no disrespect to Bob Hurley, because that's what competitors are supposed
It
to
was
be.
it was true somewhat because they was winning. I just wanted to beat them, man, so bad. We lost to them that game by one on the buzzer, but I had one of my best nights, against Duke. But I just, everybody remember the move, but it wasn't. I didn't. I just played. I just played off it, man. I just wanted to beat them so bad, be competitive, and the juices was flowing that night. It was an awesome night in Atlanta at the Thriller Dome at Georgia Tech. It was awesome.
That was beautiful, man.
Yeah,
As a coach and stuff, like, Kenny, you talking about the coaching and stuff. We're witnessing in college basketball where these kids are jumping in
yeah,
and out of the
yeah,
portal. How does it change your way of recruiting as a
yeah.
coach, especially at the NAIA level? Because again, guys are dropping down, dropping up,
Yeah.
whatever. How does that change your way of recruiting
You
in today's college basketball?
Yeah, I'm at a small NAIA school, but yeah, like I said, JUCOs are good. The right JUCO players are good. So I gotta mix them in. I like three. I get three, and then I'll mix them in with my juniors, sophomores, and then I can build that way. But I don't like a whole team full of JUCO players. I wouldn't do it. Just
Mm-hmm.
not good for the culture, and what I'm trying to set forward for. So it's different with me.
What about freshmen? Is it,
Yeah,
it
freshmen gonna take now with the portal. It's hard now. This freshman is hard. Then especially my level, it's hard, man. Now my level, some of these guys go to D1 and they transfer down because they haven't
mm-hmm.
been playing, so they play a lot more. These grown men, 23, 24, they're grown men here. So the freshmen, it's going to take a while to develop them to be better players. And if you want to win right away, that's going to be a problem. So that's going to be a problem. But if you it's real patient, and that's where you get a good freshmen, big freshmen, good. You can take a year, 2 years with them, then you good. But not the whole team. You got to have the portal is really good for college basketball if the coach handles it the right way, and that's what I'm doing right now.
Yeah. Yeah. When you look at basketball, college, or let's just say the pros, obviously you don't get a chance, perhaps to see a lot of the other colleges and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Is there a player that you come across, K, and you say, wow, you see yourself or some parts of your game in them?
Not, I used to Brandon Jennings that played in the NBA. He retired, I believe. He really. When I looked at him, I said, "Man, that's me." The way he played, that was just me, man. So I looked at him. He played with Detroit and Milwaukee,
Uh,
and he was just a silky smooth left hand player that got it done. He got it done. But that's the closest. He probably was me. Like we played just like.
Yeah, wow, that this Brandon Jennings, yeah, he was tough, and it's like you said, he made it look so smooth, man, and
Yeah,
it's like effortless and stuff. We talk about the '90s of basketball, and again,
yeah,
happened. It was a big thing. That was a brouhaha about the
yeah.
big time basketball players, point guards in the city and stuff. What are some of your fondest memories of New York City basketball in that '90s as a high school player and the '80s
Wow.
stuff? What were
Well,
some of your memories,
well, I
man?
always say, my memory that took me off was my freshman year. When I went to Archbishop Lloyd, we played the semis, the championship when we beat Talent Time with Keith Dennis, Greg Rock, all them guys. They had a great team, but we beat them in overtime, and I was a freshman on Archbishop. I got the MVP, and I took off from there. And then I won the city championship 2 years. Then we played Cardinal Hayes. Jamal Walker,
Nash and
Jamal
them.
Ashburn, all them guys, and we beat them. So I thought I thought I was going to win 4 cities. and then Malik Sealy came in, rest in peace. With that talent time crew, Adrian, Audrey, that coach from Syracuse University now, Brian Reese, they beat me my junior year.
Wow.
And Chanel Scott, my last year, this is a funny story a little bit. I got the SAT score back. We played O'Hallows that day. So I was happy. I had made it. I was already set to go play at Georgia Tech. And we played O'Hallows in the quarterfinals, and we lost. And my coach just ripped me out. My coach ripped me out, man. He ripped me out, but I didn't care. I just took it. Because I got my qualification for the college ball. I was ready to go.
Wow, man. Some of my memories and stuff is going down, Mr. Couch having the workouts.
Yeah. Oh, that was work. Yeah.
Arnie Jacobs at Brandeis.
Yeah.
And you seeing all these guys come in there, and it's like, this was like on a Friday night. And this is why I talk about when I see these NBA players, because I know they get together and they get busy and stuff like that and hoop. But to see these guys on a Friday night, and I remember you coming in there, and everything stopped when you came in there with Kenny's drills. And it was like, you ain't had to do none of the drills. Arnie Jacobs gave Master Rob over on the side, had the medicine ball. Master Rob didn't even get on the court till the end.
Yeah.
You got in there, and I was like, wow, you fit in, and just that was that time where it was just basketball everywhere, man. And good quality basketball.
New York City, man, that's where it all started for me. And it really started the playgrounds, the summer leagues. That's where you build your confidence up. You play against great players. Because there's a lot of great New Yorkers that haven't made it, but they're great playground players. It's just awesome growing up in New York, playing every day, man. Playing in Left Rack City, Citywide, Boys of Yesteryear, Brandeis High School. That was just awesome. The competition.
You had Golden Hoops.
Golden Hoops was hot, so you had to be ready. The fans was awesome. The fan support was awesome. You had to know how to play in New York.
It was amazing. KA, if you had an opportunity, what advice, as in now, what advice would you go back and give your younger self?
Man, I don't. Man, that's a good question, but it's like I don't know. I had to go through what I went through to make it here to this point in my life. So I don't know. That's really a tough one. That's really a tough one. I would think a little bit has to do with financial literacy. We should really think about that more, and we're helping everyone out. You know, you got to help yourself out with that. Financial literacy, learn from the teachers, the bankers, everything. The lawyers, be careful who you let in your life financially, just everything. I think that was I made X amount. I made a lot of money, so I was able to survive. But I was able to survive and realize it and still be okay. But you got to be careful, and you got to know when to say no. And that's
was it ever overwhelming, like playing for the because I coming out of New York, right?
Yeah.
And you had everybody, everybody, and then you get drafted. You do what you did at Georgia Tech, and then all of a sudden it just feels like you had to grow up real fast, and now you come back in to play with the New Jersey Nets. Yeah. And it did it ever just seem like it just you had to just make all these life adjustments right then and there on the fly?
Yeah, definitely. It was amazing, but it was also some bad times in there. Just people who you felt was your friends and not your friends and things of that nature. It's really tough to go through at a young age. I was the youngest in the NBA when I got drafted at 20. So, I had to learn, I had to, get hit in my head a few times and to realize certain things. And I'm just thankful that I was able to overcome all of that and survive all of that and still be doing good in my life.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think one of the things that stand out was the fact is that even playing in the NBA at that stage, and I believe going against the Knicks and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I think it was Derek Harper,
Yeah.
doing that hand checking and stuff
Yeah,
like
that was
that.
awesome. That was awesome. That was a hard-nosed ball. They changed the rules around now. It was hard fouls, everything. Hand checking all the way up 94 feet to court. It was tough. It made you tough. But now I think the lead is a lot more skill, yes, more skill, but a little softer.
Yeah.
A little softer.
I remember that, and I said, man, I remember one night David Kane and I were down at Chaz and Wilson's, man, and we were standing around trying to get in, and here you was able to get us in. You had a broken wrist, and just had some Converse on, hat on, and everybody was dressed in T. You up in there chilling. I said, Dad, it must be good to be Kenny Anderson.
Yeah, it was great.
But you know what?
Being from New York, being Kenny Anderson is great, and I love all my New Yorkers, all my supporters, all my fans. Love them. They're real good people, man.
Yeah, and I think that was the thing. He was always humble, man. Just very, very, just like the experience from afar, watching how you carried yourself, very, very humble and stuff. You did this documentary, and people out there, if you haven't seen the documentary, Mr. Chibbs, please treat yourself to an opportunity to check this documentary out. It is unbelievable because as I said before, when you talk about child prodigies, especially in the Big Apple, it's Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, then Kenny Anderson, and then Kenny Anderson was LeBron James before LeBron, minus the whole social media. That documentary was a lot. How therapeutic was it for you to really share a lot of things in your past with everybody?
Yeah, it was hard at first, but I was able to do it because my mother's not living. I don't know if my mother was living, I don't know if I would have been able to do that. But I'm getting a lot of love on my documentary. It's Jill Campbell who directed it, and she did a hell of a job, directing it. And some of the things I don't want to really I don't want to talk about it too tough because it's still out there. Go watch it. If you have the Mr. Chibbs, Kenny Anderson story, you're gonna really feel it. It's a great documentary, and and it was real. It was real. At the time, a lot of athletes, doing docs, but they wasn't real with theirs. I had to be real honest to help others. I wanted to help others with my documentary, and I felt I did.
No, you have, man. And it was definitely, like I said before, if you haven't seen the documentary, it's Mr. Chibbs. Definitely check it out. It is worth watching. And it really, really touches on not only basketball, but the human side of Mr. Kenny Anderson. K, before I let you get on out of here, let's look at this second half of the season, man. Give me a team that you might think will be the sleeper in the Eastern Conference.
I'm gonna go with the Knicks. I think the Knicks. Everybody know I'm a Celtic lover. The Celtics gonna win the East, but a sleeper would be the Knicks. They'll come up. They'll win.
Not Milwaukee.
I'm looking Milwaukee too, but I'm not a fan of Milwaukee because I don't like how they did my man Adrian Griffin. I hope they lose every game. And that's real. Adrian Griffin played with me with the Celtics. He's a great man. He didn't get the chance to really coach that team fully. And I say, well, just give him the whole year. Why fire him and put in Doc? I understand it, but no, I wouldn't have done that. So I don't care about Milwaukee. I hope they lose every game. Real talk.
What about in the Western Conference? Give me a team that you think will be a sleeper. Is there a team that catches your eye?
The Clippers with James Harden and they had caught Kawhi and Paul George. They got a crew over there. If they could put that together, and Coach Tyronn Lue, he's doing a hell of a job. He's a great coach. Great coach.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I picked the Clippers too, man. I think the Clippers, if they can stay healthy, they got guys that can take it off the dribble on that perimeter.
Everything.
And you know what? They got the size and Zubac,
everything.
Tice. It's just big thing is that obviously a lot of people sat back and didn't think it was going to work with James Harden.
Yeah,
but
it works.
Harden has really been balling and stuff like that. Now, what's next for Kenny Anderson, the coach? What's next, man?
I'm not sure. I'm just concentrating on being a coach right now.
Mm-hmm.
I love doing this, and I'm just concentrating and being a better coach, learning more, and and I also, I told my wife this. I want to be a life coach, so not just basketball coach, but I might go back to school and get my my certificate in life coaching. So that's what I'm gonna have to do. I'm gonna go that route. I believe life coach. I want to be a life coach to help others, not just basketball, but in life.
Yeah, no, definitely. Listen, Kay, man, I noticed in the midst of the season, you guys got a game coming up.
Yeah.
Really appreciate you, man, and definitely, like I said before, I've been a fan of yours from afar. I'm always honored, man. From way back when you had a few minutes, you always giving of your time to on the Sirius XM NBA radio, man, and I salute you, man. And on your journey, man, I just want you to understand a setback is a setup for a comeback. And you know what, man, you still got a lot to give, and you've given a lot, and I applaud you, man. And anything I could do from this perspective and this end, consider it done.
Yeah, you're a good man, and anytime you call me, I gotta stop what I'm doing, and I come on, Gerald. You know you my man. I love you.
Love you more, man.
I'm coming on, baby.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. He is the legend, Kenny Anderson, right here, heavy in the paint. Peace.